What up, YouTube family? It's your boy Savage Writer, and I'm back, y'all, with another video. As always, I'm giving y'all peace and I'm giving y'all gifts. Hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all staying strong. Y'all staying positive. All praise and glory goes to the Most High. You know the vibe. So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about natural disasters ravaging the earth, the spiritual meaning behind these natural disasters. Now, before I get into it, shout out to everybody that showed me love on my last video. I thank y'all for the comments. I thank y'all for the support. I appreciate it. It keeps me going. It keeps me spreading this truth. It keeps me spreading this knowledge and this wisdom, man. And that's what we gotta do. It's a community, and I want to keep building on that. So shout out to everybody that showed me love. Shout out to everybody that watched. Shout out to everybody that had some words of encouragement. I really appreciate it and thank you. Um. Anyway, now to the topic, right? You have out west wildfires. I'm hearing that it was sparked by somebody that had a gender reveal of a baby or something, but I don't know. I feel like it's more to it than what they're saying. And then out there in Asia and parts of Europe, you have devastating flooding to the point where people literally getting washed away. I heard in China, people got trapped underground in the subway systems because the flooding was that bad, and several people have died because of these floods. And just the other, like a couple weeks ago, you had a hurricane down there in Florida, and I want to first touch base on the whatchamacallits, the forest fires that's happening out west right now. It was so much smoke that it spread all the way here to the East Coast. The other day I was walking out and I looked and I said, "Why is the sky so foggy?" I'm like, the sky never is this foggy. I'm like, it's middle of summer. You know what I'm saying? The sun was out. It was a bit of rain. I'm actually gonna talk about that too. There was the sun and everything, but it was so muggy. And then I figured that's what it was. That's without even looking at the news. And of course, later on, I did look at some headlines and stuff, and I saw that was what it really was. But I figured something wasn't right. And lately, it's been a lot of thunderstorms up here where I'm at, and here in New Jersey. I've been seeing a lot of strange stuff in the sky. Just today, I saw like this. I don't know. I would say it's an unidentified flying object, but it was dark. No lights was shining from it, and it made no noise. Cause usually, if a plane or a helicopter rides past, it makes noise. Maybe it was a drone. It may possibly, but I don't know. That thing just looked strange, and it floated all the way in the sky. It wasn't a plastic bag or anything like that. Cause if you live in like an urban area where, especially where I'm at, they throw a lot of shit on the ground. Usually the trash blows in the wind. And on top of that, there's been a lot of thunderstorms here. I've been seeing a lot of rain, and I feel like that has a spiritual meaning. Now, personally, before I get into what I'm about to get into, there are other disasters happening like all around the world that we don't hear about, and also you hear in Dubai how it's so much heat that they're literally using weather machines. So y'all thinking weather modification is a conspiracy? Nah, I'm telling you, if Dubai does it, then that you have to ask yourself the question: who else does it? You know, you know what I mean? They're creating their own rain because it's so hot out there. I don't know if they're still doing that or not, but that was a story I heard the other day. I talked about the floods in Europe and China too. Well, Asia. Let's be fair. The droughts. And they saying it's quote unquote climate change, which I believe is just bullshit. Because a lot of these disasters, when you think about it, can be prevented. You know what I mean? But truth of the matter is that every time one of these disasters happen, that's more and more of an opportunity for the powers that be to make money off it. Because now they got the media pushing the narrative, pushing the fear, having people thinking, oh, is my town gonna be next? Or is my city or state gonna be next? And now I'm not making fun of any of these events at all. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these events that are happening with the weather and all that is very real. Those forest fires are very real. However it started, however, that's in question. That's in question. They say it's because this couple had a gender reveal party. I'm like, just looking at that story, me personally, that I don't think that's the reason. That does, to me, that makes no fucking sense. That does not make any fucking sense. You mean to tell me one person, well, not one person, but this family, right, had a gender reveal party, and then all of a sudden you got a wildfire that's spanning for thousands and thousands and thousands of acres, so much so that the smoke is going to other states and affecting the air quality of these states. So you mean to tell me all that was started because somebody had a gender reveal party for their unborn child? To me, I don't know. That doesn't make any fucking sense. That's silly. That's stupid. It's worse than those damn headlines I be hearing about how there are people that denounce the you know what and they die of COVID-19. Or they say, oh, I read another headline that said speaking English, right? They're looking to whether speaking English, accelerates the transmission of COVID. That makes no fucking sense. See, at this point, is just ridiculous. It's clear as day that these fucking people that's putting out these headlines and shit are making fun of us. Right in our face, they're mocking us, man. They really think we're that stupid. Like, come on, if you really on that level, you really on a, sane enough level for you to see through that shit. Come on, you gotta be fucking kidding me. What? So what the fuck we doing now? We writing notes on paper? What the hell are they gonna say next? Breathing transmutes to COVID-19? Well, they already pushing that crap. It's just stupid, man. It's ridiculous. This shit is so ass to backwards. You know what I mean? Clearly, this shit is ridiculous. Hell, I guess what? Sleeping for 7 hours a day gets you COVID? You see where I'm going with this? But anyway, I don't want to go too off topic. Mainly what I want to say, right? All of this is happening. Again, this is my belief. You know what I mean? This is my take on this, based on fact and also based on opinion. Because this is how I'm coming up with my theory. We take what already has happened or what is happening and, what could happen. Past, present, future. If that makes any sense. So, this is not to make fun of anyone that knows somebody that fell victim to any of these catastrophes or nothing like that. No, my condolences if you know someone who's contributing to the rescue efforts, because people are actually out here, rescuing these people, trying to make sure that they're good. If you know anyone that's doing this kind of work, give them a blessing. Thank them for their service, because those are the true heroes of society, not your football players, not your models, not your porn stars, not your rappers, your actors. People, everyday people like you and me, that would give their life to help someone else. You know what I mean? To help build a community. Those kind of people are the ones that need to be praised, that need to get the accolades and achievement, that need their flowers while they can still smell. Shout out to Bridge of Raw. Shout out to 603 Joey. Shout out to Greenheart Goddess. Shout out to Pedro, man. Shout out to Moo. Who else? Shout out to Off the Loop Shockaboo. Shout out to Adam, man. Who else? Shout out to Kelsey Vibration. Who else? Shout out to King Cash YT. Who else? The list goes on. Shout out to the dude that recently just commented on my last post. Well, my last video. He was talking about like he dropped the link to his channel. I'm checking out some of your stuff right now, man. Shout out to you, whoever you are. I gotta go back and look at your name. I apologize if I forget your name. You know what I mean? Shout out to the flick dude, the guy that has the bug on his profile pic. Shout out to you and everybody else that support me and that has came in and showed your love, showed your support. Also shout out to all the new subscribers as well. Shout out to y'all, man. Thank y'all for rocking with me, tuning into my content. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a lot of stuff like outside of YouTube, so that's why I haven't been uploading as much. But I'm gonna get back to it. I'm gonna drop some heat on y'all, some real knowledge, some real truth. I just did what I did because you know what I mean. I want to also give the flowers too, because there are people out there that support me, and when you on this journey, you on this path, you being vulnerable. You on a public platform talking about stuff that nobody else really has the balls to because they're trying to keep up an image. You know what I mean? It gets hard sometimes. And sometimes you feel like you ain't got that support. You ain't got that love, but you always do. And yeah, I'm just grateful for all y'all, man, that showed me love, that showed me support, that's rocking with me. And I do this for y'all, man. So, alright, back to the topic, right? These natural disasters, so-called natural disasters, most of them are natural, but there are other factors that play into this, such as weather modification, as what we've seen in Dubai. External causes, somebody potentially starting a fire. I heard another theory where sometime they'll take like a laser and shoot it into the woods, and also they don't really manage the forest that well. Because you got to go in there time and time again and clean up dead trees. You got to do regular maintenance. And if you just got all that stuff just laying there, eventually, because it's so hot and dry out there, it's going to start to get flammable and it's going to spark and it's going to create a fire. I heard somebody else say that, because I look on the internet, I see what people talking about. I like to get the consensus of the people. Sometimes I go in the news section. I don't really watch the news. I just want to see what people saying just to see what the consensus of the world is. You know what I mean? And people be saying some interesting stuff, to say the least. So here's my theory. No longer beating around the bush. The earth, the planet, is purging. It's cleansing itself. Why? Because, one, the earth is sick. Yes, Mother Nature is very powerful. All these motherfuckers, they could create all the technology that they want or whatever have you. At the end of the day, without nature, they wouldn't survive. You understand? And that's why they're pushing so much for AI. They're pushing so much for nanotechnology, bioengineering, biomechanical shit. They're pushing so hard for this society that doesn't need nature to survive. You know what I mean? Because they want to be in control. They want to be the gods. They want to be the nature. And by they, you know who I'm talking about. That's subjective. You understand? Some people say it's the Illuminati. Some people say it's this and they say it's that. Truth be told, do we even know who they really are? Understand that. Think about that shit. Do you really know who these people are that say they're someone else? But yeah, and I feel like what is happening, what Mother Nature is doing, is trying to cleanse. It's cleansing itself. of all this toxicity that has dotted the earth. Because you got these people, man, they creating all these factories. They're siphoning the resources of the earth for their own selfish desires. You know what I mean? Just so we can have our iPhones. Just so we can have our DoorDash. You know, oh, you ain't even gotta go to the restaurant, pick up your food anymore. Somebody will do it for you. Imagine how much power, how much energy that consumes. And it's like we're pushing the bar so high in our consumption. We want to constantly just feed into our own selfish desires. You know, all in the spite of convenience. Failing to realize that because we want everything so quick, we want everything so sudden, because we want to push so hard for this and for that. You know what I mean? We want to be better than everyone else. We want to be the prime species on the earth. It's to the point that now human beings are threats to the entire biosphere. Because you got motherfuckers with all kind of weapons. You know, if they really wanted to, all they got to do is press one button. The earth is finished. These people really wanted to. They could cook up. Well, they already have cooked up a weapon of mass destruction. But you have to understand, it don't matter. Even if you part of that 1% that could pull all the strings. There are certain rules you have to abide by, spiritual rules. Now, me personally, I don't know what all of those rules are. I don't have a handbook in front of me that says that. But I do know that these people, man, even they know when they've gone too far. And there's certain boundaries that they cannot cross. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand, what don't matter what you believe in. Now, this is just a metaphor. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to make this about religion. I ain't trying to force no beliefs upon anybody. Hey, if you believe in this, cool. If not, that's fine. They say, oh, Satan, right? But you gotta understand, the Most High created Satan. He has allowed Satan to rule over this plane. He has given Satan this playground, the earth, this atmosphere, this realm has become the devil's playground. Now again, this is also subjective. You could liken this to anything else that you feel like applies to you, but when you break this down, you think about it. Before creation comes destruction. You know what I mean? God also, whatever you want to call it, also destroys and creates. The same way the Most High can create life is the same way it can also destroy it. That's part of the natural cycle. You understand what I'm saying? That's part of the cycle. But at the end of the day, the Most High created Satan. So you have to wonder, if they really wanted to take all of this, they could. But they know. Even Satan knows he has a boss. But his goal is to be like the Most High. You know what I mean? And also remember that man wrote the Bible. So everything that's playing out is biblical prophecy. Was not to say that they've written the prophecy. The same books we sitting up here preaching out and we idolizing so much. It ain't like it actually came from God himself or itself. They fucking wrote it. You know what I mean? So you gotta ask yourself that. What's really the truth and what isn't? Because even what you deem is true necessarily isn't true. So I say that to say, right? The earth is purging itself. Because you got all this greed, you got all this destruction, you got all this filth dotting the earth. We living in such a society It's just so disgusting. It's so filthy. You know, the same places we shit in, we piss in, we wash up in. You know what I mean? It's the same places we live, work, and play. The cities are overcrowded. You know what I mean? We're consuming energy at an unsustainable rate. You know what I mean? All of the food that we eat doesn't necessarily come from nature. Some of it does, but a lot of it is just pre-packaged and made in a factory. You know what I mean? And it's like every day we get up with like zombies. Oh, go to work, go to school, come home, take care of the kids, then wake up and then do the same thing all over again for how many years of your fucking life? It's like we've been programmed to be robots. See, the zombie apocalypse is already here. You got people that just get up. It's like they live their life on autopilot mode. They don't never get in tune with their high self. They don't never discover their true potential. A lot of them don't even fucking bother to. They don't even give a shit. You start talking about spirituality. You start talking about different concepts. You start talking about energy and vibration. Motherfuckers look at you like, huh? What? What, huh? They looking at you like you speaking a foreign language. But to them, it is a foreign language. Because all they do, they just live their lives on autopilot. And then it's like that kind of behavior, that kind of, you know, what's the word I want to say, demeanor, has seeped into so many parts of our society that a lot of the majority of us don't even care what the hell is actually going on. Even if they told you the fucking truth, even if they came out tomorrow and said, hey, this whole thing with C-19 is a scam. We lied to you. We played you for a fiddle. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers still wouldn't give a shit. Niggas still wouldn't care. You know what I mean? People still wouldn't believe it. Like, all of this stuff that's playing out, it is divinely orchestrated. I believe that it is. You know what I'm saying? Whether, like, it was started by man, the fire, or it was a natural occurrence. I feel like everything doesn't matter. Whatever happens in this realm is based on energy. You know, some kind of energy has been released to the planet. Because if you notice, the moon lately around here has been very red. It's been a red moon. Well, a blood moon, actually. It's a blood moon. But let's just say the moon is red, right? And you know, when the moon is red like that, it siphons off a different kind of energy. You know what I mean? Like the moon and the water, that's a whole nother topic, right? You know what I mean? I'm not really the go-to on that. Now, if you want to know more about like how that stuff actually works, I recommend y'all check out Bridge of Raw. Shout out to the homie Bridge of Raw. Like he got some real deep information on like how, all the planets and everything on Earth and in the galaxy actually aligns with each other. He got some great content. You know what I mean? He really has some great knowledge. Y'all need to check him out. Check out Bridger Raw, man. He got some great breakdowns of some stuff. He could really explain it better. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like stuff like that. Like everything in this realm is connected, whether you want to believe it or not. You understand what I'm saying? And so you really got to sit there and ask yourself, what is really going on? Like, what is really going on? I believe the earth is purging itself. With all this injustice, all this shit that's happening in this world, this world got to get cleansed every now and again. Humans are a very invasive species. It's to the point we've become a threat to other species. You know what I mean? We chopping down rainforests and shit, building on swamps. And then y'all motherfuckers call it climate change to make up for the excuse that we've become very negligent towards nature. Now, I'm not saying that we don't put any effort towards preserving nature, but in a lot of areas, we are very negligent to nature and the surrounding environments and the other species that live there because we think we're fucking better than everybody. It's fucking disgusting and it's sickening. It really fucking is. And that kind of mindset, that kind of thinking is going to really be our downfall. It is. Greed. Money ain't the root of all evil. That's bullshit. It ain't the money. It's greed. Because once you have it, it ain't enough. You want more and you want more and you want more. And that's the kind of world we live in. What we got ain't enough. Oh, there's not enough skyscrapers. There's not enough highways. There's not enough rails. There's not enough power plants. There's not enough corporate institutions. There's not enough rain. There's not enough sunlight. You understand what I'm saying? And then by nature, we resort to these kinds of fucking inventions and different ideals about life that we go about. To the point we want to integrate ourselves with the fucking computer. We have natural computers. The brain, you know what I mean? I haven't seen not one computer that can outperform the brain yet. But that eventually there is going to reach a point, a turning point in humanity. Well, we already there right now, but we in the big, we really in like the, I want to say, not the beginning, but we're going toward the middle of this transhumanism phase. Is already happening with the Fitbits, the Apple Watches, and how we're constantly glued to our phones 24/7, our technology 24/7. We got the Echo in our house, the Amazon Alexa, and all this other shit. To the point we can't even fucking write anything down anymore. We don't even like to write. We don't even like to memorize anything. We don't even like to actually pull out a map and look where we at. Instead, we gotta go on Google Maps. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, I use Google Maps too. Shit, I do. I keep it 100. Yes, I have an iPhone in my hand. Okay, I keep it 100. But I recognize that, right? Sometimes you have to conserve. You have to go back to your roots sometimes. Because we going for a temporary amount of time. I do feel like there's going to be an event to whereas we gonna go back to the Stone Ages, man. It's going to, of course, temporary. Not saying it's gonna last forever, but for a temporary amount of time, there could be an event where there's no internet, no power, the grocery stores ain't opening, and a lot of that's happening right now. You know, we have food shortages and shit like that, but you don't hear nobody talking about this stuff. And I'm starting to see the effects of this. You know, sometimes I gotta go to a different bodega because one bodega I go to might not have the same products. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, we ran out. This is no longer in stock. This shit happens even with online shopping. So this stuff is happening. Don't think because you don't hear about it, you don't see it that it ain't happening. It is. You know what I mean? So yeah, the earth is purging itself. The earth is basically waking up by saying, I'm still in control, I'm still in power. You understand? And these are signs that show us that we need to get right, not only with ourselves, but also the environment around us. Because without nature, we don't survive. You motherfuckers want to chop all the trees down. How the fuck you gonna breathe? What the fuck you gonna do? Buy oxygen, you stupid motherfuckers? Put it in your goddamn tank, you stupid motherfuckers? How much longer you gonna be able to keep that shit up until your oxygen run out? Now you can't fucking breathe because you chop down all the trees, stupid dummy. Duh. I'm just fucking with y'all, but yeah, that's what I feel like. A lot of these events that are taking place on Earth. I don't want to just say biblical prophecy because, like I had previously stated, the Bible was written by a bunch of motherfuckers sitting at the table. Come on, man. I mean, but then again, the Bible is a compilation of different books. The Bible ain't just one book, but that's what we've been taught to believe that's the case. Not necessarily. You know, there's a whole breakdown on that. I'm not the go-to for that, like I said. but you know what I mean. I know a couple things, but that ain't really my expertise. What I'm saying personally, I believe, and I'm seeing this. The earth is cleansing itself. It's waking up. Y'all could say, "Oh, the Most High is coming back," stuff like that. And people say stuff like that, and if that's what you believe, if that's what you feel like is true, that's completely fine. You know what I mean? That is your opinion. That's your belief. But what I'm saying is, yeah, you know, the earth has had enough of us and our selfish, greedy ways, and yeah, this stuff has always been happening. We've been fighting the hurricanes and shit since the beginning of mankind. This stuff is nothing new. People think, oh, it's climate change. The earth always changes. Now, however, there's two sides to this. One, the earth always changes over time. Yeah, originally the earth was one big like continent, but over time, we had ice age and stuff like that, dinosaurs, all that shit. The earth changed over time. That's a natural occurrence. But you stupid motherfuckers who work for the mainstream media want to turn this shit into a goddamn woke political agenda. You motherfuckers are stupid. You make me sick. So, yeah, that the earth always has changed over time. Natural. That's a natural occurrence. Now, however, you have another side to this. Now I see what the whole argument about climate change. I see where they come from. Because of human activity, a lot of that has been accelerated. The effects of a natural occurrence has been amplified and now reached a point to whereas we could control it with machines. And that kind think about it, to have that kind of power is a bit intimidating. Cause say I'm sorry about that, man. But say right, that kind of power is intimidating. And say right, you lose control over those so-called machines. Say if the effect of the machine, right, it does a domino effect. It becomes so great. It gets to the point that it forms into its own entity. That nature eventually catches on to what was already is, that what we're doing. Oh, you're using machines to modify me? And then that only escalates the effect. You see where I'm going with this? What I'm trying to explain, right, is this. We are actually accelerating the effects of a natural occurrence. You know what I mean? And let's just say a river that would have dried up in 300 years actually dries up in about 50. That's just an estimate. You know what I mean? That's just an estimate. That's an example. But let's just say that for example, because of human activity. You know what I mean? Constantly dredging in the water. You know what I mean? Building up everything. Increasing our use of sewage. And the sewage system also plays into this too. And why these fucking rivers be thinning out. Because you think about it, in a lot of urban areas, the sewage run underground, right? You have all the pipes. But eventually those pipes, all the stuff that goes through those pipes has to come out from somewhere. And it goes through the streams. It goes through the streams that's inside of the sewers, but something has to come out of that sewer. And then what you have in a lot of these rivers, they build like drains, and they dump the sewage water, the runoff, into that lake. And then they take some of that water And what they do is reverse osmosis, and they sell you back that water for you to drink through the tap. Now talk about that. Now, yeah, right. The earth is pissed off. This is a warning that we gotta stop destroying the very place that helps us sustain ourselves. Because eventually, the more we use these resources, the more we're gonna accelerate the natural occurrences of this earth. And what that's gonna do to us, well, I don't have the answer for that. But what I can tell you is, yeah, we in for the tribulation. And that's all I'ma say. Nah, this was like the longest video I've done in a while. About 36 minutes. So I'm gonna end it here. Do what you can to get right with the Most High, or whatever else you believe in. You know, stay strong, stay positive, stay uplifted, stay away from the bullshit. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that show love, that show support. You know what I mean? That has positive things to say. You know, that feels the knowledge that I'm giving. You know, I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me, man. You know, we got to do our part and make sure that we sustain this place so we can ascend. You know what I mean? So, right. I thank y'all for watching. Y'all stay tuned. I got more content on the way, and I'm out.